What's good, YouTube? It is Aydian here, in me car. Sometimes it just has the best lighting in here, and, you know, it's the most private place I could really find. So, yeah, I want to make a video, about bathroom dysphoria, 3.5 years on T. So, I think people have this idea that, like, your bathroom dysphoria just kind of goes away once you're passing, because I know that for me and for a lot of other guys, like, bathrooms are a big deal when you're pre-T, because you're going into a space that's for men only, and you're not looking 100% male yet. So of course it could be a very scary place. Put aside the urinal and all that other stuff, just walking in there by yourself, you know, and they're possibly, oh no, sorry guys, whoops, so just walking in there by yourself and there possibly being another person in there, you know, it's scary all by itself. Let me see if I can get this to, alright, so, pretty much what I want to discuss is how, you know, and not to sound like depressing or upsetting or anything, but the dysphoria doesn't really ever leave. At least that's how what I've encountered for myself and for the trans men that I'm in contact with. It seems like you feel more comfortable going into the men's room, but I mean, even if you use an STP, or even if you feel comfortable using the stall, like, I don't use an STP. I use the stall. I pretty much just go in there, you know, use the handicap stall, or I use a stall. That's usually the furthest away, and I just use the restroom that way. I don't use the urinal. I don't stand. You know, I pee how I can pee. And, you know, I have encountered some interesting things, like having to walk into a restroom and then there is no urinal. I mean, there is no stall. Or there's just a toilet, and then there's like a toilet on one side of the room, and then you turn around and there's 2 urinals on the other side of the room. And you're like, and there's no lock on the door. Okay. Or going into a bathroom with like 3 urinals or 4 I'm sorry, I keep saying urinals. 3 or 4 stalls, and they're all filthy. Disgusting. Like, no way in hell am I using those stalls at all. So, I mean, you know, not only do you have the problem of there maybe not being a stall, especially if you're going to a bar or something, or the stall being so filthy, there's no way in hell you're using it. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've walked into a bathroom and walked right out, and my wife is like, wow, that was quick. And I was like, it's quick when you don't actually go to the bathroom. You know, I mean, so there's always that fear of, like, going to a bathroom that you've never been in, and you're like, okay, they're gonna have a stall, it's gonna be filthy, like, I really, really gotta pee, am I gonna be able to finally pee, you know? It's just very uncomfortable, you know? And then even now, still, 3.5 years, if not more, of using the men's room and using the stall and sitting down and everything, you know, I still get really nervous when, you know, I'm using the stall and then someone comes in next to me using the stall. I'm very self-conscious of, like, how you know, the sound of my pee, you know what I mean? Like, is someone gonna catch on to that? I doubt it, but I have been told that, you know, it doesn't sound the same. So I've been told. So, I mean, it's really, it's still really uncomfortable. I still try to avoid it. I try to go places like Starbucks and like Tropical Smoothie, all those kind of places that have 1 bathroom stalls. It's pretty standard in most of those, like, franchise type places. They have one person bathrooms. Even most recently, I went to the Philly conference, and the men's room was so gross, I just used the women's room. I mean, really, they were gender-free rooms, but, I mean, people were pretty much sticking to, it was mostly just how you identified. So I didn't identify as a woman, so I wasn't going to take the women's room. But I just used it anyway, because it was so gross in the men's room. I really had no choice. Luckily, we were in an area that it was totally fine, and nobody even looked at me twice. But, I have done that before. I mean, me and my wife just went on a trip, and the no door or no stall, but a toilet thing was there, which is oddly enough extremely common. You'd be surprised how many bars and places like that have like urinals on one side, and then if you turn around, there's like one bathroom, or there's like one toilet like all the way down a hallway. Like the urinals are on one side, then there's a wall, and on one side of the wall there's sinks, and on the other side it's like all the way down there's a bathroom, but there's still no door. It's disgusting. I mean, what if I was just a normal dude and I had to, go number 2? So I've had my wife like stand outside of the door and just like watch me, or I've had a friend, we've take turns standing outside of the door. If like the other thing is that a lot of times in the men's room, if a man uses a stall, the door doesn't close. They don't really need the door to be closed. So a lot of times the locks don't work. At one of my favorite movie theaters, I hate the bathroom there because the lock doesn't freaking work. And at that point, it's like you can't have your wife come into the men's room and stand in front of the stall, So it's really annoying, and there is still a really big fear, you never know what you're walking into when you walk in there. You know what I mean? Like, and, then there's the embarrassing point of, like, what if all the urinals are being used, or all the stalls are being used, and then there's, like, all open urinals, and the guy behind you is like, oh, man, you can go there, and then you're like, oh, no, I gotta use the bathroom, and they're like, oh, he's probably taking a shit, you know what I mean? And, I mean, that's fine, oh, yeah, I mean, I'm usually okay with the bathroom, but I just want to express that, like, there are still times that I'm very uncomfortable with the bathroom, or I'm very, like, I get very dysphoric because I went into the bathroom and I had to walk immediately out, and there's a long line, and everyone knows that I just walked in and walked out, you know what I mean? It's like, people probably don't think, like, twice about it, really, they probably don't, but you do. And at the end of the day, what really matters is what you're thinking and how you're feeling, not how everybody else is feeling or thinking about you. So, the dysphoria of the bathroom definitely gets better. I mean, I walk into a bathroom without even, like, that's where I go. You know what I mean? I'm not supposed to go in the other one. If I went in the other one, I'd be kicked out. So, it's really just feeling uncomfortable, like, within yourself. And the positions that, usually the men's bathrooms are really gross. I mean, at the end of the day, even if you use the stalls, usually there's piss all over it, or all over the floor, you know what I mean? So, I was discussing this with my wife not too long ago, how, like, the dysphoria never really goes away for the bathroom, and people have this assumption that once you're on T and once you're passing, that you're automatically going to be a guy who uses a packer, or you're automatically going to be a guy who uses an STP, and I don't use either. And I know a lot of guys who don't use STPs because, honestly, I tried mine for a while, and I just wasn't, I was good at it at first. It was like beginner's luck. I was really good at it first. I tried taking it out, in public, but the problem is I have really bad pee fright. Even now, that's another freaking thing that annoys me. Like, when I go to the gym, the stall, like, the bathroom's so small, everything's so, like, you barely have room to get into the stall, and, now there's, like, 2 people besides me peeing, and I have super bad pee fright because I'm thinking if they're seeing my feet, and then if they're hearing my pee, and all this other things, that they probably don't even care that I'm in there, but I care, you know what I mean? So not everyone picks up STPs. Not everybody likes to use STPs. Personally, I don't pack, so having a STP means I have to have another device that's just in my pocket, and I'm kind of a germaphobe, and it kind of grosses me out that I'm peeing into something and then putting it in my pocket, and I don't really have an opportunity to wash it because, God forbid, I'm washing some random contraption in the bathroom and someone else walks in. If you can't see my frustration, I get frustrated. If you couldn't tell already. But, yeah, I mean, I just, like I said, I'm trying to make this video more lighthearted because, I have a lot more privilege in the men's room than I did before. And at the end of the day, it really comes down to my own dysphoria and how I'm feeling and thinking and about what they're feeling and thinking. So, I mean, it's not uncommon, and it's really good to get used to feeling uncomfortable, I guess, because then you will hopefully in turn become comfortable. Like I said, it's a million times better than it ever was or has been before. Now that I am passing and, I don't, people don't think twice about it. But, yeah, it's definitely interesting. But if anybody has any STP suggestions, I would love for you to leave a comment below. I do check the comments. I don't usually leave comments because for some reason, like when I try to respond back to a comment, it just makes it a new comment. And it drives me nuts because I want the person who wrote to know that I'm responding, and they probably don't go back and check. So it drives me nuts. But I will put my new Facebook. I got a new Facebook. I'll put the link below. I'll put the address below. It's just Aydian E. Dowling on Facebook. You can like me because I'm switching over my Facebooks. But, yeah. So, if you know any STP devices or packers that have STP devices in them, or just maybe a more advanced STP device, put a link below, add a comment. I'm going to check them out because I am still interested in an STP. I just have not found one that is comfortable enough for me, and I've been able to use so comfortable that I can get over my pee fright when I'm in the bathroom. I probably would still use a stall, but I would feel more comfortable. You know what I mean? Yeah, so hopefully I am one of a small percentage that still has dysphoria of the bathroom after, but something tells me I'm one of a lot of percentage that still has dysphoria in the bathroom. So, alright guys, that's it. There's my rant. There's my rumble. I hope you guys are having a good day, and yeah, that's it. Peace.